everybody, I'm Loren and my company is Intentional Acting. And I'm hired by working actors who are getting passed over and they don't know why. And what they want is to break through and become an in-demand actor. And that's why I do these acting tips, so that I can help you break through and become an in-demand actor. And what I've been talking about recently is memorizing. That was my last one, and I'm going to bring it up again because how do you memorize if you have a busy mind and a busy life, right? And I was just really inspired to do this tip because I was speaking with an actor who has ADHD, and he was telling me that with his ADHD and his mind just going so fast that if it doesn't know what to focus on, it will just, or maybe it can focus on something and get those lines, but then, a week later or even a day or two later, the lines are just gone out of his mind. And so he knows this about himself as a person with ADHD. And I realized that not all of us have to have ADHD to have that issue, that we can learn these things and then they are just escaped from us and feels like we have to start all over again. So what I was sharing with him was some brain science, and that's what I want to share with you today. So we are built to survive. Our brains are our survival mechanism. And what's going on is that all day long, our brain is picking out the information that is going to help it survive. So if you're watching this acting tip and you've already turned it off, then for some reason this information isn't helping you to survive. And if you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is great, and you're really involved in the conversation with me, well, it's kind of a conversation, but if you're really involved in listening to me, that means this information is helping your brain to survive. And that's exactly what we do when we watch TV. Is this going to help me survive? Think about it from a casting point of view. Their brain is going, is this the person I can cast? Are they going to help me survive? Is the director going to like what I did? Like who I picked? Are they going to, and am I going to keep my job? Am I going to get paid? Will they hire me again? That's how their brain is working when they're watching your tapes. And your brain is thinking, well, I've got to memorize these lines to survive, but then they don't stay. Well, part of the reason they're not staying is because they have no context. So if you're just memorizing words, and often we've heard many actors talk about like saying the lines over and over again until we have absorbed them, until we just sort of know them, and they just kind of fall into us. And so it's kind of an outside-in job of like, let me say these things over and over again. And as I do that, I'm kind of building some context or connection to these words. Think about it, work the other way. Start building the context or the connection to the words before you memorize the words. And that is the story. All right? And so if your brain is really busy or full or has ADHD or moves really quickly and you can't retain that information, you've got to make that information fascinating to your brain. You have to make a story that really is compelling to you. Now, I want to be careful that you're not just making any old story to connect all these words together, which is going to help you memorize your lines, because then maybe you haven't memorized the right story. So it's important that when you break down that script that you're really clear. And my other acting tips talk about this, about question number 1, what is the scene about? Get the facts straight. What are the relationships? Where does this take place? Very specifically, time, day, where, and what happened the moment before, and what is the conflict in this scene? So that's the first way you're going to build that context, is through the facts. So don't go making up a story that has nothing to do with the facts. Get this facts straight. And the way you make it compelling to your brain to memorize it is think, well, how do I relate to this? What is this like for me? Have I had this experience? How can I connect to it? And looking for your brain to go, oh, aha, I get that. I totally been through that. I totally get that. That's how you connect to your material. And that the more that you do that, the more fascinating the story can become to you, and you become more personally invested in it, and then the lines will follow. Okay? So if your brain is a busy brain, or maybe has ADHD or something like that, that makes it really hard to hold on to your words, get connected to the story. Make sure the story is connected to the facts. And then make it personal. Connect to it. How do I relate to this? And make it compelling. So it can't just be like, yeah, I know what that was like. You got to think about, oh, that I remember that was painful, or that was exciting, or that was fun, or that was scary. Like, you have to find your emotional life that connects to that, so that you are excited and interested and compelled by that story. And then those words will stay. I hope this has helped you. If you have more questions for me, please feel free to put them down in the comments below, or you can email me directly, Loren@IntentionalActing.com. I always say that on Facebook, and I forget. You can also message me on Facebook, Loren Adama. Or you can also sign up for a discovery session, which is www.discoverintentionalacting.com. You all know the www, but it's discoverintentionalacting.com. It's a free 45-minute conversation where we're going to talk about working together and see if there's a way that I can help you to either get to work or keep working and build your reputation of being an in-demand actor. So go create stories that are compelling and interesting so you can remember your lines, and I'll see you next week.